Hey, Abezu here, and in this video I'll show you a step-by-step guide on how I was able to go from zero to over $580,000 in sales in just 8 months. Okay, before we dive deeper into this video, I just first want to show you guys proof because some of you guys, you don't know me, so I just want to first introduce myself. I'm Abezu. Basically, I started around May, and I documented my whole journey on my YouTube channel. So you guys can see like all this progress I was posting back 8 months ago, like all the videos. So make sure to check out the videos later on as well, so you guys can see the whole journey basically and my progress and basically my growth, like so you guys have a realistic expectation and like a realistic view of how it really looks like. And as you guys can see, currently I'm making around 13k a day. And I'm gonna also show you my ads manager. This is my second ads manager that I'm using mostly currently. And here I spent 96k, I made 188k. Then there is another ad account, and here I spent 116k and made almost 300k. So as you guys can see, it doesn't really add up. There's missing, I think around like 80k is missing, around 80 to 90k is missing. That's because some of the sales are not tracked by Facebook. Also because I use Google ads as well, and also through email marketing, those are also not tracked in Facebook's ads manager. Okay guys, I also want to mention another thing is I have a giveaway for you guys. So let's go back into the camera and I'm going to tell you more. I'm really happy to announce that me and Ricky Hayes, we're hosting together a massive giveaway. Basically 6 people can win. And what we are giving away is, for the first prize winner, we're giving away a 60-minute coaching call with me. Then to second place winner, we're gonna give away a 30-minute coaching call with me. And then for the third place winner, he or her is gonna receive $50 to his or her PayPal account. Then Ricky is gonna give away for the fourth place winner. He's gonna give away a 60-minute coaching call with him. Fifth place winner is gonna win his course for free. And then the sixth place winner is gonna win $50 to his or her PayPal account. So now you're probably wondering, how do I win this giveaway? Well, this is very easy. So basically we have 5 steps. So the first step is subscribe to my YouTube channel and go to Ricky Hayes' channel and subscribe to him as well. The second task is share my video to a friend and also share Ricky Hayes to a friend as well. The third task is like this video and also like Ricky's giveaway video. The fourth step is leave 5 unique comments under this video and also go to Ricky Hayes' giveaway video and also leave 5 unique comments as well. And the fifth step is go to my Facebook group down below and join my group, and also go to Ricky Hayes' Facebook group and also join his Facebook group. So basically all the steps are down below. You have all the links. So go to the description, do all those things, because it is really required that you take all those steps. We'll be picking winners only from those who complete all those 5 steps for both my channels and social medias, and also for Ricky Hayes' channel and his social media as well. So like all these steps, they're absolutely required for you to win these prizes. Okay, so what am I going to cover in this step-by-step guide? So I'm first going to talk about how I found my winning product, basically the best product research methods to finding winners. Then how I tested the product with Facebook ads. Then how I scaled it from 0 to $186,000 in just 1 month, and how I'm scaling currently. And the fourth step is basically I'm gonna tell you about the issues that I ran into when I was scaling, and basically I tell you the mistakes that you should avoid, a lot of like those things that a lot of YouTubers don't really talk about. So how I found my winning product is I really focus on doing in-depth research on each product. And I really focus on understanding the market and the buyer. So what I do is I really go on Google and just search the product and look in blogs around like about the niche and about the product as well. And I really focus on launching quality instead of quantity. So a lot of people, they find like 30 products and they're just gonna launch them and like test products every single day. I kind of like my every launch takes me like 1 to 2 days basically to make it as good as possible. And you need to understand like what is a winning product. What I did is I saw hundreds of winners over the last few months before I found my winner. So this has really helped me to kind of like have this intuition for product research. And how I found my product was on AliExpress, and I found an untapped product that had only 200 orders at the time. And also like some information about the product. It had a broad appeal, like a huge market, huge audience, and it solves a problem. Okay, then the next step is like how I made my product into a winner. So I don't really just blindly test products every day, and just hope that they will work. I really focus on making the product work. So what I did is I went on Google and I read blogs about the niches so I understand the pain points and the things that the niche and the people who would buy this product just want. I really need to understand the people, how I can help them. So I just really did a lot of research on their pain points and benefits they would like, and I explained the best benefits and the pain points on the product page and in my video really well. And basically I made the product even more awesome. Like it sounded more awesome than it actually is. So I basically artificially created the wow factor for the product. And another thing that I really focus on a lot is making really high quality videos and very high quality thumbnails. I guess you guys can see it from my YouTube channel. I just really enjoy like videos, graphic design and stuff like that. So the key to Facebook ads is just the creative, the thumbnail, the video, or the image. And just forget about the settings like 1 day click, $5 a day budget versus $20 a budget, narrowing it down with engaged shoppers or not. Like those are just small things. You should be focusing on the big things, which is the thumbnail and the video. And the reason why your ads aren't performing are performing badly is because the video and the thumbnail is just really bad, guys. I've seen so many people like launching ads, asking me feedback, and it's just really bad. And Facebook ads is all about catching people's attention, keeping it for long enough, and then motivating people to click on your ad and to purchase. Basically, that's all. It's kind of like disruption or interruption marketing. You just want to catch people off guard, like with your thumbnail and with your video. So these are really good examples of good thumbnails. So on the left side, you can see someone like with scissors, like cutting a cable. That's kind of unusual. And also the text really also helps, like the charger is unbreakable. Then there is another one. I see this a lot. This is also very good when you see multiple images shown of the product, in different scenarios. This is working also very well. Like a lot of like YouTubers and people or like gurus are just teaching you like use arrow and emoji, and that's just basic stuff. And also another update, guys. Nowadays, I really don't recommend doing arrows. You can actually get your ad account banned. So just be very careful with arrows. Actually, my ad account got disabled because of arrows. So just be careful. Then on the right side, you can also see, there's the 4 images showing, basically the wow factor of the product. It's just showing like what is it for. So this is very good. Like those thumbnails are very good. And as you can see by the number of shares, like these products have made over like 300K or more, depending on the targeting. But like when you see so many shares, these are performing really well, like at least 300K at least. So let's talk about the elements of a winning video ad. So the first 3 seconds are the most important. You really need to show the wow factor or benefit. You just really need to catch your attention, or they just leave the video. And the video really needs to be engaging. So like every 3 to 4 seconds, the clip or the scene just needs to change. You cannot just show all the time just one thing or like a static shot. So you should change up your shots every 3 to 4 seconds. You can also add some transitions. Those also help. I've seen some people doing zoom transitions, like slide to the side. Those are very modern. Those work really well. So if you have a video editor, they can do that for you. What's also very important is that you need captions. The caption need to describe the benefits and also like explain like how it solves the customer's pain points. Like you really need to focus on the customer. Like when you're doing like video ad or product research, don't think about like what you like. Think about what your customer would like and really focus on them. It's all about your customers. And when you're writing the captions into the video, you really need to make sure that they're readable. Like a lot of people I noticed like they make really small text, or like the background is just clashing and people can't even read it. So that's really no good. You need to make sure the captions are readable. The format, you can do 1000 times 1000 or 1080 times 1080p. That works well. You can add black bars at the top and bottom. I see some people do white bars or black bars. That's totally fine. And at the top you can write something like I need this, or you can write something like a benefit point as well. And you can add an emoji, you know, like heart, or like the emoji with the heart eyes as well. That works also as well. Another thing about fonts, like a lot of people are curious. I kind of recommend like Lato Black. That seems to be the best font, but you can use like any of the popular fonts like Helvetica and stuff like that. And I usually use all caps, like in the video or in the thumbnail as well. You really need to make sure that you use royalty-free music. So just search audio library on Google and you'll find some really good links on how to get like royalty-free music. So for video editing software, what I use is Adobe Premiere Pro and Animoto. Animoto is kind of like more beginner friendly. It's a slightly more expensive. So it's really up to you, like what do you want to try. I use Adobe Premiere Pro because I use it also for my YouTube channel. But like if you have a video editor, you don't really need to worry about these things. You know, you can easily hire them for like $20 to $30 per video. Then you know you really need to make sure that you add your logo as a watermark, so nobody steals your video as well. You really need to make sure, like that happens nowadays quite often. And I just want to give you guys a really big like disclaimer: do not steal content. Like I really don't recommend doing copyright infringement. Like just don't do that, because like I'm gonna tell you like what happens. Basically, when you download someone else's like ad, you know, or you take someone else's content and they report you to Facebook for copyright infringement, what happens is Facebook will take down your ad within 24 hours. And this is speaking from my own personal experience. I actually reported someone and their video ad got taken down. They saw 2 of my videos and those were taken down within 24 hours. So when that happens, you know, when you steal someone's video and your like it gets taken down for copyright infringement, then your ad account might get penalized. And if you have repeated copyright strikes, what will happen is your whole business manager will be shut down. And I also heard some people like losing their Facebook profile like connected to business manager, because like Facebook really takes this thing, really takes copyright infringement seriously. Like I talked to my Facebook rep, and they just really like stress this information that Facebook really doesn't like copyright infringement. And so what I recommend is just take your own unique video, you know, with your iPhone. That's totally fine. Or you can use a camera as well if you have. You can also tell your supplier to make a video, or you can even outsource it to Upwork or Fiverr if you find someone good. But the best option that I recommend is that you outsource it to a professional production company. That's what I did. I use Ecomvids, and like those videos, like their videos have really helped me scale my product. So you really need to focus nowadays on really good videos and unique videos, not something taken from somebody else. So a quick disclaimer, like if I see you steal my video, I'll report you for copyright infringement. I've already done it before. You know, I also talked to a lot of other people, like other 6, 7, and 8 figure dropshippers, and basically they told me like it is happening to them as well. Other people, they just take their video and just run it and scale it, and then they get reported by like the friends of mine, right? So just don't do that, guys. Like don't take other people's videos, take your unique content. It's gonna perform really well if you know how to take videos as well. And also look at this as a real business, guys. Like stealing videos and stuff like that, it's kind of like really sneaky. It's kind of like a sneaky tactic to make money. And like, I'm not here to teach you guys like sneaky tactics. I'm teaching you guys how to build a real business that's gonna, yeah, just like a real business, guys. So, okay, so now let's move on to ad copy. So ad copy, you should also focus on those. Like what I focus the most is the thumbnail and the video, but ad copy, you should also focus on it a little bit as well. And basically, you should write about a benefit point, like a benefit or a pain point. So, you know, like when the customer is reading it, it should create some emotions or curiosity. So you can write something like "know more" and then something about a pain point, or "OMG, I love how this does that," you know, or "stop this pain point," you know, and stuff like that. And then you can you know, add the link. I don't recommend using bit.ly links. I just use the Shopify product page. I don't even shorten it because I talked to my coder as well, and he said like the URL redirects, they kind of slow down. They slow down your loading by a little bit. So I don't really do URL redirects in Shopify as well. So you don't need to do them. And these are the most common emojis. So you can also use them for your ad copy as well. So Facebook testing strategy. So the strategy that I recommend is designed to find you winners at the lowest investment possible. So you don't lose too much money on testing. And that is recommended for people who haven't scaled before. Like that is their first time, they're still testing to find their first winner. Personally, the method that I'm gonna show you, this testing strategy, I don't use it anymore. I have lots of pixel data. I have lookalikes in my same niche, you know, so I usually test more aggressively nowadays. And then Facebook ads, for me, is more like an art than a science. I don't really have like strict, rigid rules that I follow every time. I need to look at multiple factors, and it just really depends. But I'll try my best to explain you guys like my thought process and like the rules that I have, so you guys can kind of so it can be more actionable for you guys. And quick note is I used to test with $3 ad sets back in October, but now I recommend doing $5 ad sets. So now let's talk about the strategy, right? So I recommend doing 6 to 8 ad sets at $5 a day. Also a quick note is I recommend a general store in the beginning. So you start with a general store. Once you find your first winner, you just change everything, your logo, your theme, and you switch it into a niche store, and you focus on adding more products in the same niche, right? So let's go back to the testing strategy. So basically 6 to 8 ad sets at $5 a day each. You do website conversion purchase objective, and you do people who live in, and I recommend top tier countries. So I just listed them below. I really recommend those, especially if you started like me with just only PayPal and no other payment gateway. Top tier countries are the best to target because they will usually know how to pay with PayPal, or they know how to pay with PayPal without a credit card, without a PayPal account. So those are the ones that I recommend. For age ranges, 20 to 65 plus or 25 to 65 plus, it really depends on the product. You know, if it's something for older people, you can push it up to 25 to 65 plus starting. I don't recommend doing like 18 and stuff. I usually like with Facebook ads, I don't really focus on the young crowds. They don't really have money to spend. So I just focus on, you know, the older, like 20 plus audiences. And with genders, it's usually both, or you can try men or women. It just really depends on the product. Like if you know it's a, you know, if you know it's a men's product, like you don't need to add women there. With placement, I do automatic, but if you want to do Facebook feed plus Instagram feed, that's also totally fine. And I do 1 interest per ad set, and I kind of like to split it up. So if we are doing 6 to 8 ad sets, I don't like to do like all small audiences. I like to do a few small, a few mid-size, and a few larger size. So a few at 1 million to 5 million, a few 10, like 5 to 10, and then a few 10 to 15, and maybe like one ad set that's going to be even larger, you know. And a quick note, don't narrow down by engaged shoppers. Never really worked for me. I don't really recommend that. And I also do 1 day click. Okay, so now let's talk about the strategy, right? So you launch it at the midnight of the ad account, and usually, by the middle of the day, after 20 hours, like you're gonna spend around 40 to 50% of your daily budget, right? So if it's $5 a day ad set, it's basically gonna spend around $2.50, right? And I just basically kill any ad sets that have more than $1.5 dollars cost per click or more. Basically, that's just too expensive. So those I just kill immediately. So those with CPC 1.5 or below, I just keep them running. And then if you like a few things about the indicators, right? If it's a winner, so if you get one sale, then the product might have potential. That's a good sign. And if you get 2 sales or more, that is a really good sign. So that means like on day 2, like if you get some sales, like 1 or 2, just start adding more ad sets. Add 10 or 15. It just really depends on your confidence, on your how you like to risk, basically. And at $5 a day, and you need them to start from day 2, basically. You do the same interest targeting, just try different interests. Use the suggested, or try audience insights, or try to think of different angles, from that niche. So maybe brands, maybe magazines, something like that, and try to come up with another 10 to 15 ad sets. But if the product didn't get any sales, like on day 1 and then on day 2, usually I let it spend another half day, and that's gonna spend, the ad sets are gonna spend like $7.5. And if there's no add to cart, then I just kill the ad set, right? And if you see like you're only left with like 1 or 2 ad sets now, like all the other ad sets just died, just kill the campaign, just kill it now, cut your losses quick, And the thing is, guys, if it's a winner, it's gonna keep getting sales on day 2 as well when you launch those ad sets, like the 10 or 15. And then, day 3 and beyond, you basically rinse and repeat. You really launch a lot of ad sets. Basically, every day you launch like 10, 20, or even 30 ad sets at $5 to $20 a day. Really depends on you, how you feel like doing it, on your confidence. And basically you launch a lot of ad sets every day, and you quickly kill the bad ones. And you're just looking for the best audiences now. And then, your product should be starting to get profitable by day 3 or day 4. If not, you should probably like slow down and don't really force the product too much. Usually, especially like if you're tight on budget, you can lose money that way. I've made the mistake several times, and I was just like unnecessarily losing money. Usually after 7 to 10 days, I'll just start adding video view lookalikes, and then 50%, and then I'll start with 75% video views, and then 95% video views for lookalikes. And I usually just choose one country, which is usually USA. That's where I get the most of the sales, so that's why I start lookalikes there. And then also I start retargeting with $3 to $5 a day. I'm gonna talk about retargeting a little bit later. So for the lookalike percentages, what I like to use is I like to use Shopify, and I use all the percentages that they have. So it's like 1%, 2%, 3%, all the way to 20%. And I just test every one of them. And like if you don't have Shopify, just use different percentages. Just maybe like split those percentages into 4 ad sets. Like 1%, 2 to 4%, 4 to 7%, 7 to 10. It just kind of up to you. I just recommend like doing larger audiences. They tend to work better now. Then what you should be doing is like what I do is like I usually start my lookalikes and retargeting later than most of people. I just like my lookalikes to have more data, because like the more data they have, they tend to be more effective. So I don't really force them too early. I kind of like to do them a little bit later. Okay, so for retargeting, I usually start them after 7 to 10 days of launching the product. And for retargeting, I use dynamic product ads, and I segment them to 1 day, 2 to 3 days, 3 to 7 days, and I do them for view content and add to cart. What I also do is I retarget with the original video with a different thumbnail. I also retarget with an image. And as you can see, I'm doing 3 types of retargeting. The same video, image and dynamic product ad. And if you're doing so much retargeting, you should be doing them at really low budgets, in the beginning, probably like $2 or something. Or you can do less retargeting, in the beginning. You can maybe just do image and the video in the beginning. But the key is like when you're doing so much retargeting is you should have different different ad copies, different discount codes. Sometimes you give 5%, sometimes you give free shipping. You just really need to switch it up so people are always hit by like different deals and different angles basically. And for retargeting, you can retarget video views, 50, 75, 95%, view content, add to cart, initiate checkout, and also make sure to exclude purchasers. There's also even more people you can retarget, but that's for like another video. It's a little bit more advanced as well. And now let's talk about scaling. So how I scaled back in October 2018, that was a few months ago. So scaling a winning product with Facebook ads is pretty easy, especially if the product is new, like almost everything will work. So guys, like don't think like what you're missing is a scaling strategy. What you're missing is a good video and a good winning product. It's usually not the scaling strategy from what I've seen from my students or other people who message me for feedback. And so I scaled basically by choosing the ad sets, because I was launching so many ad sets, like every day, like 10, 20 ad sets, at low budgets, like 5 to 10, maybe $15 a day. I was launching them. And basically, I just found those who had ROAS at least 3 or more. And basically, if they had consistent ROAS above 3 or more for 5 to 7 days, I just duplicated them into higher budgets. You can duplicate it into another campaign or even in the same campaign. That's fine. But what's key is you duplicate them into higher budgets. So maybe from $20 to $50 and 15 to 30 or 45. It just really depends on the level of your confidence. And when I hit my first 10K a day, or I think I also hit a 12K a day back in October, I just had so many ad sets, and most of them were just $20 to $30 a day, and maybe some of them were like 50 or 60. So guys, like the horizontal scaling really works. It's just really time consuming. You have I had like hundreds of ad sets. It was like kind of annoying to manage, but guys, it works. Horizontal scaling works. It works better than vertical scaling, like increasing budgets. Those just quickly lost me money, so I don't really do them as much. So basically, like with this method, you're looking for as many interests and lookalikes that work, and you're turning off those that don't work. You're just finding the best audiences that are making you money. So how I'm scaling now is kind of a little bit different. So I launch $50 to $100 a day ad sets straight. I do interest and lookalikes. Most of the interests are actually performing way better than lookalikes actually. And once I have like more data, which I do nowadays, so I narrowed down by age, country, gender, placement, using the breakdown tool. And for me, mostly just United States, so that's where I sell the most. And when I have like the best performing ad sets for like 3 to 5 days at those $50 or $100 a day budgets, I just create a new campaign budget optimization campaign at $250 or $500 or $1,000 a day, just kind of depending on my mood. If I'm feeling like doing 500 or 1,000, I just kind of, like I said before, Facebook ads, it's more like an art than a science. So I just kind of do them a little bit randomly, and I just choose the best performing ad sets in the last 3 to 5 days, like for 3 to 5 days, and I choose 5 best ad sets and I add them to campaign budget optimization. So it has only 5 ad sets in the campaign budget optimization campaign. Or what I also do is I just launch the $250 or $500 a day, or sometimes even $1,000 a day CBOs with just interests that work in the past as well that I remembered. So that is also something that I do. And the key is that I kill ad sets fast. So I usually check my ad sets after like 20% of the budget spent. on the day one, and this is the time where I start killing. Basically, I'm gonna explain in the next slide, but like this is when I kill after 20% spent of the daily budget. And then I check it a few times throughout the day as well. And then the next wave of killing, of like turning off ad sets, is when the ad sets spend 50% of that daily budget on day one. Sometimes even sooner if the stats are very bad. So now I'm gonna explain like when do I turn off ad sets while scaling. So if an ad set got a sale, I just always start looking at the ROAS or cost per purchase. And I use Order Metrics app to see my average profit per order, which is more accurate for me than break-even margin of the product. Because let's say you're selling a $40 product and your margin is $25, right? So you would have your max cost of purchase would be $25, right? But the thing, guys, for me, it's actually different. I have a lot of upsells and it's increasing my average order, my average profit per order. So basically my average order profit per order is $30. So actually at $25, like usually we would be killing the ad set because it's break even, but I can keep it running and it's still giving me $5 profit, right? So that's why I just really use Order Metrics to track it more accurately, and that way I can kind of scale even more. And also what I do is when deciding whether to turn off an ad set or not is I look at it in the last 7 days, 3 days, and today. And basically I turn off ad sets based on the last 3 days, including today. So I turn off everything that is unprofitable or break even. So you basically look at your ROAS, or better even, you look at your cost per purchase. If I have like the campaign budget optimizations at like $500 a day or $1,000 a day, I just looked at them at the last 2 days time frame, including today, because the budgets are very high. I don't want to look at them at longer time frames because I can start losing money quickly on them. So that's why I kind of check on them in the 2-day time frame. And whenever like you're hesitating, you're thinking like you don't know if you should turn off the ad set, always look at the averages of your campaign. So at the bottom, you can see the averages of the campaign, and look at the cost per purchase, the average, the cost per click, the click-through rate, the link click-through rate, and also the CPMs of the campaign. So just look at those, and if the ad set is just like in 2 or 3 of those, it is just like way below average, just turn off the ad set, just turn it off. Okay, so now let's talk about like when I was scaling. So what I was doing back then when I was scaling in October. So when I started scaling, it was just so much work, guys. I was very stressed. At the time, I was like, it was kind of out of my reality. I went from 0 to I think 10K a day in just 17 days. So it just went very, very fast for me. And like what I was doing, I was just kind of scrambling. It was just so much work, and I was like working on optimizing my store. I changed my general store to a niche store. I just deleted all the products, the old products that were unrelated. I changed my theme. I changed my logo as well. I hired more VAs. I had one VA before, but then I hired more. I also work on creating a system, basically like a lot of like spreadsheets, to track a lot of things like refunds, disputes, and also I taught my VAs just to do everything and talk to the suppliers themselves, so I don't have to overlook every refund and every return, because like if I would have to do that, I wouldn't have time for anything. And during that time, I also outsourced email marketing to James Matthewman, who's a good friend now, and basically he helped me generate extra 10 to 18% revenue every month through email marketing. I was just really surprised. I thought email marketing is just dead, but it is not. It is making me so much money. Like basically, when I was having like 20% profit, like without like the email marketing, my profit would be just so much lower with that. And another thing that happened is when I scaled in October, I think it was around October or end of October, I scaled to 12K a day. It was just with PayPal, and I got a hold and a rolling reserve, and just really messed me up. I made a video about that when I scaled. You guys can see it's, I think, a few months old, so you guys can check it out on my channel after watching this video. It's all documented, you know. I think yeah, I was kind of very stressed during that time. Yeah, and also like when I was scaling, what I did is I worked a lot on my conversion rate. I improved my page speed. I just hired someone on Upwork to increase my page speed. I think it costs around $40, you know, for increasing the page speed. Then what I did is I was looking only for the best photo reviews. What I see a lot of people do is they use looks reviews and they just upload a lot of reviews, and they don't really look at the reviews. So they have like bad English. They have like Russian signs there, you know, like Russian language. And when an American comes there and they see like foreign language, poor English, or they see the images, you know, that look very low quality and it looks like it's a low quality product from China, it's gonna hurt your conversion rate, guys. So really be picky about choosing the best reviews to put on your stores. You should be also doing is you should add trust badges under every add to cart and every checkout button. This is like trust badges work very well for audiences above 30, 40. You know, if you're selling to younger crowds, you don't need a trust badge. It's also most likely gonna hurt you if you're doing like young audiences, but I don't really sell to young people. I like to sell to people like 30 and plus. Then what I also recommend is have a GIF or a GIF on your product page that shows the benefit of the product, the wow factor of the product, so they kind of get reminded again. There's also like more information about that. I made an in-depth video, a 40-minute video on my YouTube channel. I'll link it down below in the description so you guys can see. Basically, there's even more tips. I didn't want to add it here because the video would just get so long. Then for AOV, I use a lot of apps. You guys can go to www.ivizoo.com and resources page, and there I kind of recommend some of the apps. And if you sign up through my link, you'll receive a lot of free bonuses for that as well. So for the apps that I use to increase my average order value, basically I use Cart Hook, which is a post-purchase upsell. So when somebody purchases, they'll see immediately one upsell. If they decline it, they can see another one, and basically this continues like in total like 6 upsells, basically like 3 upsells and 3 downsells. So I use Cart Hook. In combination, I also use Reconvert. This is a really good app that I use. It kind of like changes your thank you page, and what it does is when people go to your thank you page, the Shopify thank you page, they'll see a pop-up. Like you can set up a pop-up with a discount code when they reorder, you know. Also, you can add the track button, which I really love. If you have on your thank you page a track your order button, it's gonna be very easy for customers. Like you don't really need to like track your order page. Your customers can just go to the email, click on the order, and they'll go to the thank you page, and then just click on the button track order, and immediately they'll see the status of their order. So it's making it way easier. They don't have to copy paste the tracking number, and it's just way simpler that way. So this is also very good for improving the customer happiness, the customer experience. Then there's SMS Bump. Basically it's abandoned cart SMS messenger app. Currently it's making me around $500 a day. It's performing very well. So yeah, it's very good app. I made a video about it in one of my older videos, so I also recommend checking that video. Then there's Shop Message. That is abandoned cart messenger app as well, also pretty good. And then there's LimeSpot, which kind of like recommends products, and the LimeSpot app is really good for niche stores. For general stores, it tends to work less effectively. Okay, so now let's talk about the issues that I ran into while scaling. That is something that a lot of like gurus and a lot of YouTubers don't talk about. I kind of like, from what I noticed is like a lot of people, they talk about like product research, about like scaling and testing, but they don't really talk about like what to do, like how to deal with issues, guys. And when you scale to 6 figures quickly, you're gonna run into issues. And I just want to educate you guys. I just want to give you like a brief rundown on like the most common issues that can happen to you. So the first thing is PayPal hold. That is unfortunately almost unavoidable. That will just happen. PayPal just does it for security reasons. They just want to make sure that you're legit. So they're just gonna give you a hold or a rolling reserve, which is totally fine. That's kind of like a test. If you can survive it, it means that you mean business, and if you can survive, it's just gonna be amazing. So don't worry too much about PayPal holds. Just make sure that you're running a legit business. You're fulfilling your orders. You have good customer service. You're selling good quality products, and you will be fine with PayPal. And also another thing is use a PayPal auto tracking app. This will automatically upload tracking numbers to PayPal, and that also helps. I started only with PayPal because we don't have Stripe. I don't have Shopify payments in my country, which is Czech Republic, and so I just used PayPal, and it was very problematic just to use PayPal because of the holds. It was very hard to scale. So I got a second card processor, which is called BlueSnap. BlueSnap is a payment processor for cards and credit cards. And what I really like about them is they don't really put holds on dropshippers. They don't really like out of a sudden just ban you like Stripe does. So I really recommend BlueSnap. And also in the resources page, I have like more information about BlueSnap. So you guys can sign up. If you guys go to resources, there you guys can also sign up for BlueSnap. There's more information, and basically if you sign up through my link, it's gonna help you get that. But let's keep talking about this topic. The issues that I run into was I also had two bad suppliers, two of them, and basically what they did is their tracking numbers they gave me, and they didn't work for 15 to 20 days. So what happened is they told me yeah, we're shipping within 2 or 3 days. Here are the tracking numbers. And I was thinking, okay, I'm fine. I have the tracking numbers. They're shipping it out. Customers are gonna get it on time. But what happened is they gave me the tracking numbers and nothing would happen. They just wouldn't work and they wouldn't ship for 15 to 20 days. So basically, the order would come, I would give it to my supplier, and nothing would be happening for 15, 20 days. The customer is just emailing us what the hell is happening? Where is my order? And we're just talking to the suppliers, and they're like, yeah, we're shipping, we're already shipping. But then what I figure out is it took them 15 to 20 days to ship my products, and then it also took another 15 to 18 days to arrive. So my shipping times were 30 to 35 days, which really caused issues with PayPal. So what I really recommend is you need to make sure to check on your supplier, if he's actually shipping the product. So check their tracking numbers, if they're working, check if their supplier is legit, because unfortunately a lot of suppliers, they lie, so you really need to be careful. Also, what happened to me is somebody stole my video. They copied my product page and they copied my store's phone number, and those people were scammers. They didn't fulfill any orders. They just scaled the products without paying for the goods. And what happened is when they stole my phone number, and they stole, I think, some customer support. I'm not sure if they stole my email, probably not, but they stole my phone number, and I was getting a ton of hate email and hate calls from that, because my phone number, it would go directly to voicemail telling people our email address, our support email address. So people would go from that store, the scammer store, call my number from that was on their store. They would call my number. They would figure out my email, and they would email me with a lot of hate emails. And it just really messed up our customer service. We were just getting so many emails. Another thing, due to slow shipping times, the 30 or 35 days, my ads got penalized for low customer feedback score. This made December and January so hard. The profit was around 10% because the ads got just so expensive by then. My CPMs were just so expensive. And it was very, very hard. And that's why in January, there were times that I was making $60 a day, and it was also unprofitable. I was losing money. during those times. So you guys can test with AliExpress in the beginning, but you should never scale with AliExpress. Like once you get like 30 orders a day, just switch to a supplier, but make sure you find a good supplier. Also, some other issues that happened to me is I had to fire my accountant. He was very bad. He caused me a lot of issues. I had to pay so much extra. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about that. It's pretty kind of makes me emotional. So let's not talk about that. Then the Google Ads agency guy, I also had to fire him. He wasn't doing the job properly. He wasn't doing it well. Then also I had to fire a few VAs. So just be careful who you hire. They need to be responsive to your messages, and they also need to be helpful. But that's gonna happen to everybody. Like everybody's gonna go through like firing people. So that's kind of natural. That's kind of normal. Now I also want to cover like safety tips for people who scale. That's also something that I haven't heard anyone talk about. But basically, if you want to be doing this long term, focus on changing your store from a general store to a niche store. Like there's no need for like one product store. Niche store is really fine. That's really good. And what I call a niche store, like my ways, I call it branded dropshipping. And basically what you do is you provide good customer service. You have lots of VAs. You can also provide phone support. What you do is also you have custom packaging, faster shipping, like we negotiate with your supplier, faster shipping, and you add thank you notes in the orders. And basically you also pay to have your own unique content, your own images and own videos. And that is what I'm currently doing actually. I have phone support. I have multiple VAs. We have 24/7 customer support. We have custom packaging. We have faster shipping, and we're just adding thank you notes as well. And we're also working on getting more of our own content. So this is what I'm doing, branded dropshipping. And if you want to do it long term, also again, don't steal other people's video. Don't get banned by Facebook, and don't sell trademark products. The thing, guys, is scaling is easy. The hard part is not making mistakes that can cost your business during the scaling part. When you scale, like everything becomes kind of risky. Like if you're spending a lot of money and something happens with your ads or something happens, you can easily lose $1,000 a day. Like right now, guys, I'm making around 13 to 15K a day. I'm spending like 6K on ads, approximately $6,000 on ads a day. And if you're spending like this amount of money, and like everything needs to be on point. If something messes up, I can easily lose a few $1,000s a day. So that's why, guys, like when you scaling with Facebook ads, it's kind of easy. What's hard is you need to have systems for everything. You need to have good customer support. You need to have all the systems so you can keep up, because it's going to be so much work. I've made over $580,000, which is around 11K or almost 12,000 orders. Just so much, just so many orders, guys, and you really need to have the systems. So what you need to also focus on is to have your dispute and chargeback rate low. Basically, like if you have too high chargeback rate, you can get banned by PayPal. You can get banned by Stripe. You really need to be careful. If you get it too high, what you can also get is you can get banned by Visa and MasterCard. I think their limit for chargeback rate is around 3%. So really, guys, be careful. Focus on your customers. If you focus on your customers, trying to help them, and you focus on customer happiness, you're not gonna have 3% chargeback rate. Yeah, right? So make sure that your supplier ships a product fast, so that it arrives within 15 days or less. Have good customer support. So for that, I recommend multiple VAs, having Zendesk, so you respond within 24 hours. That's good for the beginning. If you want to scale even more, I recommend also having phone support, which I just recently implemented. Also, make sure to check on your VAs and suppliers every 2 to 4 days. Have them give you reports. Talk to them always. Just be in the loop. Just know what is happening inside your business. And another thing is you need to diversify risk. So you need to create a backup BM, business manager. Facebook allows you to have 2, and this is what I recommend, having 2. Some people are able to get 3 or 4 or more. I don't really recommend that. I talked to my Facebook rep, and he just recommends having 2 business managers because that is what Facebook officially allows. If you have more, it can kind of flag you. You can also lose your other business managers as well. So just be careful. You need to have multiple ad accounts. You need to have another backup payment processor. So if you have like PayPal and Stripe, I also recommend getting BlueSnap just in case something happens with Stripe. Otherwise, like, you would lose everything, and you just cannot, like, you just lose your Stripe, and you cannot process cards that easily. Then what I recommend is have more stores. So just don't have one, have like multiple stores. And also another thing, guys, have like multiple debit or credit cards. What sometimes happens is like you sometimes max out your the card limit, and that will block the card, and then your ads just stop spending, right? So you need to be careful about that. You should have multiple cards. You should raise the limit, the spending limit of the cards. And also, you need to be careful because sometimes when I paid for some software, it kind of flagged my bank account and they would block my card. And if you don't have like backup payment methods on your ad account, your whole ads can just get paused. So you need to be careful about those things, and you always need to have backups. Another key thing, guys, when you start making money, don't start spending money on non-business related things, guys. Realize that the money that you're making is not your money. That is your company's money. Like if you have company, of course. Like if you have company, like the money that you're making is not your personal money. That's a company's money. So when you scale, the thing is, like, some unexpected things can happen. Like PayPal can hold your money, or the card processor can hold your money, and then you don't have enough money to fulfill orders, or then you don't have enough money for ads, and I heard so many like horror stories when people didn't have a reserve, like they didn't have enough money and then got a hold and they couldn't fulfill orders, and when they couldn't fulfill orders, they couldn't get their money released. So it just was like a vicious cycle, it just was horrible. So guys, don't start spending money. Like since I scaled, in October, I didn't really like buy anything fancy. I didn't really even go travel yet, So I'm just saving my money for the bad days, basically. And also what I recommend, guys, is get a tax advisor once you hit 6 figures. Like nobody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about revenues or profits. But even profits don't matter if you don't have a good tax advisor. You really need to figure out your taxes, and don't ask people in Facebook groups, or don't ask me about taxes. I'm from Czech Republic. I don't know US taxes, I don't know how it works. I talked to a US tax advisor who does Shopify and Amazon. So like if you guys are looking for a tax advisor, you guys can like hit me up, right? But like don't ask me specific questions about taxes. I don't know what are the taxes in US, so don't ask me. Then, be humble, don't get cocky. Like the money you're making, it doesn't really matter much. Like I see a lot of people like making money and they're just thinking they're amazing. But the thing, guys, your product could die anytime. Your product could just stop selling anytime. So make sure to keep working hard. Like when you start getting success, that's a time where you should be working even more. You shouldn't be like relaxing. You should even push harder. And basically, now it's not the time to relax. Now it's time to sprint, to just grow even faster. You found your first success, so let's keep growing your business. And also, I just wanted to tell you guys that this is not everything that I do. Those are not all my strategies. Like if I would reveal all my strategies, this video would be like 24 hours long or something. It would be just very, very long. And yeah, that's what she said. Okay guys, another few tips on long-term success. That is, invest in yourself. Like if you're already at 6 figures, most courses will be useless for you. I haven't found many courses, like once I scaled, I haven't found many courses that really helped me. It feels like the courses are like if they're good, they're kind of designed to get you to $1,000 a day or maybe $3,000 a day. And I haven't seen any like advanced courses that will help you at the $5,000 or $10,000 a day level. I haven't seen any courses like that. And what I recommend is that mentorships is the most useful way to grow. Like once you hit 5 figures and 6 figures, mentorships are the most effective way to grow. Another good way to grow is to network through events, Facebook groups, and Instagram. The quick tip with networking is don't be selfish. My thing is I'm always thinking about like how can I help the other person, and I'm just really focusing on building trust and building a lot of goodwill. That's kind of the same thing that I'm doing on YouTube. I just really focus on trust. Trust to me is just everything, guys. And you know, trust and value, trust and helping people. I feel like those things can just get you so far. Because like when you're in the online marketing space, trust is so important. Like even if you're e-commerce stores, if there is no trust, they think like you're sketchy or spammy or scammy. They're just not gonna buy from you. And that's the same like if you want to network with someone and you don't have a profile picture, like I don't even read those messages. Like if you don't have your profile pic, you know, and like it's just so weird, guys. So whenever you're trying to network, don't start with like me, and I need help, this, you know. Try to figure out like how to network in a way of like helping each other or helping the other person. Because you know that's the fastest way to network. I'm not saying I'm a networking expert. I'm not, you know. But basically like my mentality and my strategy is just always to help other people and always focus on building a good relationship and building trust and just win-win relationships. That's why I have my resources page. I was able to partner with WordFirst, with BlueSnap. I'm partnering up. I'm also partnering up with EcomVids, with a tax advisor. Basically, guys, also an email marketing expert. So I'm not the person that's gonna recommend you like cheap like product research software or like some subscriptions, like cheap stuff. You know, I focus on giving people value, and like people like email marketing experts, you know, like payment processors, WordFirst to transfer money, and a lot of other stuff. You know, those are the things that people actually need who are doing a real business. You know, I'm not focusing on the newbie stuff and making money out of newbies. I'm just focusing on helping people who are serious about building a real business and about people who are at 5 figures, 6 figures, and beyond. So another thing, guys, is since I scaled, I've reinvested around 30K in my business and in myself. You know, I'm just really heavily reinvesting, and just this year alone, I plan on investing at least $150,000 in myself. So I'm just really happy that now I'm just making a lot of money from my store. That money will be just mostly used for me. So I'm not gonna be using it to buy a Lambo or something. I'm gonna be investing that money in myself at first. That is the plan for this year. And then the next year, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be investing more into like real estate or some other stuff, like more long-term things as well, to just secure my income as well. But this year, I just want to really heavily invest in myself. Okay, guys, I just also want to give you a quick, reminder. So you know the giveaway. Basically, me and Ricky Hayes, we are hosting the giveaway, and 6 people are gonna win. Basically, the first person is gonna win a 60-minute coaching call with me. The second place is gonna win a 30-minute coaching call with me, and the third place is gonna win $50 directly to their PayPal. And Ricky Hayes, he's giving away a 60-minute coaching call. Then he's also giving away his course to one person, and then he's giving away $50 to PayPal. So 6 people can win. We're doing this together. We're hosting this giveaway together. And guys, I really recommend you guys to check out Ricky Hayes. He's one of the legit guys. He's crushing it. Like me compared to him, I'm really nothing. You know, like guys, check him out. He has made over 2.6 million in just like during the time when I was just making like 400k or 500k. He managed to make over 2.6 million dollars. You know, his YouTube channel has also good content as well. It's not very hypey, it's not very like lifestyle, it's more very like educational. So if you guys are serious about building a business and building a profitable dropshipping store and not just trying to get rich quick, then Ricky's channel is also highly recommended. How do you win this giveaway? Like, how do you enter this giveaway? Well, you must complete all these tasks. Like, this will be verified. You need to complete all these tasks. And the first step is subscribe to my YouTube channel and subscribe to Ricky Hayes' YouTube channel. The second step is share this video, and at the same time also share Ricky's giveaway video. So basically share my video and his video to at least one of your friends who's interested into e-commerce. Then you should be doing is like this video and go to Ricky Hayes and also like his video. The fourth step is leave at least 5 unique comments on my video, on this video, and go to Ricky's video as well and leave another 5 unique comments there as well. The last step, the fifth step, is join my YouTube group, my Facebook group, and also join Ricky's Facebook group. All the links and all the instructions, in case you forget, are just down below in the description. Cool, I'm really glad that you watched the whole video till the end. I really appreciate that. Like in the meantime, before we announce a winner, it's gonna be 10 days. So in the meantime, I just invite you to go to my channel, check out some of my YouTube videos, go to also Ricky Hayes. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He has also very good content as well, very educational. He's not very hypey, he's kind of like me. We're kind of like, we don't really hype stuff. We just show you, like I really focus on showing my journey, and Ricky just really focuses on showing you like step-by-step tips on what to do certain tasks. So I really invite you to check out my older videos and also check out Ricky Hayes videos in the meantime before we announce the winner in just 10 days.